Ugas came out responding to Errol Spence. This is what he had to say. Errol Spence recently talked about an Ugas fight, and he stated he liked Ugas, but like I told y'all, he don't have a big name. So Ugas responded by stating, "Listen, Errol Spence, I'm disappointed with your opinion, but I respect it. Something, if I want to tell you," this is obviously Google Translate. He talked in Spanish and translated in English, so some words might be a little off. So he said, "Something, if I want to tell you, legitimate fighter and stronger fighter than most of the fighters you fought. And at the same time, I'm on the same level as Brook and Porter. The best men Spence have ever faced are Brook and Spence. Anyway, I still wish him luck. I'm happy that the man is safe and sound, and after what happened last year with the car crash, it will never be personal. I just hope to keep watching you grow. Whether our fight happened or not, I'm not chasing any particular fighter. I'm chasing championship. Now I understand why many say that I'm the most avoided man in boxing. I'm very happy that all boxing fans know me today. Thanks for your words, champ. I appreciate it. I still respect you. Nothing has changed for me. God bless." Oh man, that was real cool by Ugas. He gonna win a lot of people with what he just said. One thing for sure, Ugas is the boogeyman as we speak. Errol Spence was the boogeyman, but he went from the boogeyman to the money man. He's becoming that Money May. He's on that Money May stage. Pretty Boy was the boogeyman fighter pretty much, and Money May was the fighter that, yeah, you're going to get your ass beat fighting him, but you're going to get paid. And your next fight, you're going to get paid more than if you stay undefeated and don't fight Mayweather and lose to Mayweather, right? So with that being said, Errol Spence, the way he put it, he said he liked Ugas. It's just that the fight is not big enough to fight anytime soon, since he already have fights lined up from Danny Garcia to Manny Pacquiao and Crawford. He said eventually we're going to fight if he keeps winning and building his name. Ugas obviously didn't like the fact that he mentioned that he's not a big name. Ugas felt, hey, you know, all you had to say was, I already have a fight lined up. You could have pretty much said we're going to fight down the line if you keep winning. And that's what pretty much Errol Spence said, but he threw that he's not a big star. And now, because Errol Spence said it, that's going to be the popular thing to say. And you already know a lot of people going to be like, oh, man, you know, from Keith Thurman to whoever. They're going to say, well, Ugas is not a big name. Yeah, I'll fight Ugas, but he's not a big name. That's going to be pretty much the excuse, because the risk is not worth the reward. Ugas feel like he's a star. He been fighting on PBC main event. He just beat Omar on Errol Spence undercard. He just beat Dallas on the main event on PBC. So he felt like, hey, listen, I fought on Fox as the main event. I fought on multiple cards, and I proved myself. Ugas also beat Sean Porter, in my humble opinion. He wants to fight Terrence Crawford. He beat Terrence Crawford in the amateurs. Yes, that's the amateur. Crawford is completely a different fighter today, but Ugas want the smoke with Crawford in the pros. He want to prove himself in the pros. Ugas want all the smoke. He called out Keith Thurman respectfully. He called out Sean Porter. He wants the rematch respectfully. He called out Errol Spence. He called out almost nearly every name. If Ugas can't get a big name anytime soon, he won't be able to fight Errol Spence anytime soon. The only way he could fight Errol Spence is to become his mandatory. Danny Garcia is currently the WBC mandatory, I believe. So for Ugas to become a mandatory, he's going to need to fight a top name fighter, which he should be close to being a mandatory somewhere. But if my memory served me correctly, I think Jaron Ennis is a fighter on the come up, Virgil Ortiz. If these fighters want to land a fight with Crawford and Errol Spence before they leave on 47, they might want to prove themselves against Ugas, which is going to give Ugas the opportunity to actually become this fighter that's gonna fight these fighters on the come up. And once, if he's capable of beating them, he could eventually end up fighting an Errol Spence or a Crawford. Right now, I think he's too risky, and I just think Errol Spence just have fighters lined up for him. Now, a lot of people that might say, "Oh man, so Errol Spence is ducking Ugas? Is that what y'all saying? Oh, y'all not gonna call out Errol Spence for ducking Ugas?" What I say to that, y'all gotta be mindful. People are so quick to saying this guy's ducking that guy's ducking this guy. Errol Spence wants to fight Crawford. He wants to fight Pacquiao. He wants to fight Danny Garcia. So Crawford is nearly pound for pound #1. He's the best pound for pound fighter in the game, and Errol Spence wants to face him. Which, in my humble opinion, so far Crawford is the proven fighter, more so than Ugas is the better fighter, in my humble opinion, because he got to prove it. So with that being said, if Errol Spence is calling out Crawford, then I got no issue. Now, if Errol Spence ain't calling out Crawford, if Errol Spence don't want to fight Danny Garcia, he just wants to fight Pacquiao, for example, and he don't want to fight Ugas, then that's an issue. But when Errol Spence wants to face the best before he moves from 147, which is the fight of the decade, the truth versus Bud, the smoke, then I got no issue with that. I feel like Ugas is correct with everything he said. I think Errol Spence is also correct with pretty much everything he said, except that Errol Spence should have just said, "Hey, we're gonna fight down the line." He shouldn't have brought up that he's not a big star. I just feel like that's kind of more of a low blow if you talk about a fighter you don't like, because now you say that, you know, obviously they cool with each other. I don't think Errol Spence said it meaning bad intentions or from a bad place. I just think he was just freestyling during the moment, and he was just laying out the truth. They don't call him the truth for nothing. But Ugas is a bigger name than people think. He beat Sean Porter, like I said, in my humble opinion, and he have a lot of tremendous wins under his resume. I mean, he beat Omar like he stole something, and Omar beat Errol Spence in the amateurs. But I must point out, Omar, at the time when Errol Spence fought him, he only had 2 years of an experience because he turned pro late. Errol Spence he started boxing late. Errol Spence started boxing at age 15, I think. And he fought Omar at age 16, 17. So that's that. Drop in the comment section what y'all think, what Ugas had to say. J. Coley said, EJ not losing. Same. Hassan says Spence versus Crawford makes the most sense. Andrew said, Bud, the real truth. Split Decision episode 39 is over with. Subscribe below if you're trying to get smarter by the minute. If you're trying to get dumb about a second, don't listen to these decaps, aka dumb casual ass fans / old media that don't know ish about boxing. Like I said, all these decaps wizards, and all these emotional fans, and even the hardcores that don't want any smoke with Akhi. What matters is what counts, and what Akhi says is the truth. So that's what counts and matters at the end of the day, or at least the night. So when the truth is spoken, the other side is nothing but a lie. Split decision. There's two sides to every story. When there's a fight coming up, of course, you might feel like this fighter could win. I might feel like another fighter gonna win, right? Everybody entitled to their own opinion. But when the facts are laid out on a certain matter, like a fighter cheated, for example, such as Jimenez, and the WBC don't want to suspend her, that's an issue, because this is no longer opinion versus opinion. This is facts versus opinion. Facts trump any opinion. So like I said, come correct when you see Akhi, because Akhi will fact check you, because I got my facts in my pocket. Like I said, this strap right here is realer than a whole lot of fighters with French fries titles. So with that being said, subscribe below, click on the notification bell, and I appreciate all my Akhis. You already know, 473, 74 KOs. I can't even keep up. Keep me up with my record, because you already know I'm bodying decaps. KO. I know it's split decision, but I'm straight up knocking these decaps out. And
they call me the problem, but you could call me the can man.
I still want all the smoke.
Africans,
and I still can't get none.
Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody can.
You don't know shit.
Y'all just don't. Like, y'all really don't.
You better not duck me, son.
Ducking.
You better not duck me, son.
All these decafs H Money, where you at? I mean, excuse me, not H Money. T-Tone. T-Tone, where you at? Because you never call in. I done sparked T-Tone so much. Man, I think I did him like Marquez did Pacquiao. He ain't no show. To tell me why you haven't been calling in. How did I do all these decals? Let the public
Hey, you've been
know.
knocking them out, Akhi, but you didn't knock me out.
Come on. Oh, so you an exception? Come on, T-Tone. You been a no-show.
Hey,
You've been a no-show.
I'm not lying.
Yeah, I mean, you capping. If I'm being politically correct, I don't want to call you a liar, but if you say you the truth, you got to speak some facts. That's all I'm saying. But T-Tone, you know we miss you out here. Why you haven't called in? Why you been a no-show? That's what we want to know.
The other times I seen you, you know there was nothing to argue about.
Man, and, really? So you ain't been disagreeing with anything I've been saying?
Hey, about Canelo, and about Chavez, hell yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
With you.
That's what I'm saying.